Hi, I'm standing in my own fall garden here, and I wanted to show you a plant that is kind of an important one in my garden. It's this one, which at this point is quite dead, at least it appears to be. And sometimes it can get to be quite tall. That one particular one I'm showing you right now probably got to be about 11 or 12 feet tall from the ground here. And these are plants that I often grow that are native to North America. They're one of the few plants that's like truly native to North America that sometimes is used as a vegetable. This is a relative of the sunflower called a sunchoke. Um, Here at this point, you can see these little flower heads that are kind of dead, and maybe there's some seeds in there. I didn't, I've never really tried to grow it from seed, but there might be some seeds in that little seed head thing right there. But the reason I'm pointing this out to you today is this is a kind of perennial plant that actually maybe I'll try this one over here. When we pull this up out of the ground, it's not just a sunflower like a regular sunflower. There are at the base a set of tubers. Now, these tubers are called sunchokes. They used to be referred to as Jerusalem artichokes, but they have nothing to do with Jerusalem or artichokes. So they're actually a relative of sunflower. And this is one that can be eaten. It's kind of potato-like, kind of water chestnut-like, kind of a crispiness to it. But really, it's its own thing. It's kind of its own flavor. And it's actually a rather productive plant for the amount of space that it needs. So this, really only was taking up a little bit of space in there, and I certainly didn't pull them all up. There's another one. And if I dig around in here, there's another. And so these are a good example of a kind of plant known as a perennial, because what it will do is, even though the plant itself will, like the above ground part will die back every year, it saves the tubers underground as a way to come back the next year. Now, importantly, tubers are full of nutrition. These are particularly full of starch and some other types of foods. These are actually really good for human food. They're good not just for having calories and nutrition, but they're also really good for the gut and gut health. And so they actually even use these to collect some a kind of nutrient called inulin, not insulin, but inulin. And that's meant to help the bacteria, the good bacteria of the gut, grow better. And so they use that to harvest that and kind of purify that part by itself. And so these are getting a little bit more well known, but most people probably don't know about them. Again, they are a Native American vegetable. They are from this country, which again, most of the things you eat, you can't say that about. I mean, pretty much you got beans, squash, and corn you can maybe say that about, and there's not much else that we eat that really comes from this country. Most of our stuff's coming from Europe or Africa or Asia or somewhere else. Or if I really say this country, even corn is from Mexico, not from the U.S. Part of the country. So really native U.S. vegetables is pretty rare. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share it with you. And just kind of also as an example of what we call a perennial kind of plant. Great, thank you.